Hi everyone, welcome to the Market Antithesis, where we ignore all the noise and focus on what really drives the action on Wall Street. Today we have a special episode. We're going to take a step off the beaten path and we're going to talk about our beloved Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and how she trades U.S. derivatives. Stay tuned. But before we get to that, I just want to remind you that there is a free ebook in the description that'll teach you how to generate consistent income in the stock market. And this is perfect for beginners or people that just want to get their feet wet in the stock market for the first time. Please check it out below. It's completely free. All right, so here's Nancy Pelosi. We all know her. She's a fairly controversial figure in United States politics, but over the past year, there's been more information coming about how her and her husband trade stocks. It's been slightly controversial because a lot of times people are saying that she's using insider information or she has some sort of advantage over the little guy. I think that could be the case, but what I really want to do in this video is focus on the strategies that her and her husband use to generate profits in the stock market and how they can be utilized by you and me. How we should follow these type of people that have skills and have the knowledge to do smart, consistent trades in the stock market and not try to day trade or trade risky options that you see on all different types of social media, but actually focus on what hedge funds do consistently over time to make profits. So to start off, I just want to take a look at this Barron's article where they talk about a specific instance where Nancy Pelosi's husband bought options in Apple, Tesla, and Disney. So this was early this year, January 2021, and just kind of goes over a couple of the trades that they did. I think it's kind of interesting to see what stocks they're actually choosing to buy. You know, they're not purchasing penny stocks. They're going with mega cap, large cap U.S. stocks that have incredible fundamentals. They're buying a ton of it. I mean, you can see here, if you go scroll down, you can see that Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, bought 100 call options. So that's 100 contracts. That's options to control 10,000 shares of Apple stock. So that's a ton of shares. We can see here that he also bought 25 call options of Tesla, which is a lot. And you can see that this date, March 18, 2022, that's over a year out from the date of this article. This article is January 24th, 2021. So that's about a year and a quarter out. So that's a long dated option. It's very different from what you see on the Wall Street Bets or on Twitter, all these like day traders where they're trading weekly options. These very skilled, wealthy people aren't trading short-term options. They're buying long-term options that are more expensive, but they allow you a better chance to profit significantly on stock moves. So after that little introduction, I think it's really good to go over this interesting article I found. So it's from October 6th, which is a few weeks ago. It's a deep dive on how the Pelosis are trading stocks and options over the past 2 years. I think it's really interesting because it's going to outline a lot of the strategies that I use in my portfolio. I mean, obviously my portfolio is going to be of a smaller size, but you can still execute these strategies and make consistent money without gambling, without day trading. So I just want to go down the list and see what they do with their portfolio. So we can see here that a good amount of their assets are in real estate, which is obviously super safe, and in this type of macro environment is a great asset. But I want to focus on their equity investment. And here it says that they're riskier. I guess that's true because they are call options, but the way their trades are structured, it's really not that risky when you take a look at it. If you look at the investments by sector, you can see that most of it is going to be in big tech, information technology, mega cap and large cap companies, Apple, AT&T, Facebook, Salesforce, Netflix. I mean, these are the top cream of the crop companies. They're not messing around with penny stocks, GameStop, or AMC, like all that nonsense that you see on the internet. Like that's not where the big money's made. These stocks are massively liquid. You can buy a ton of shares and they're just consistent revenue generating companies like we talk on this channel all the time. I mean, she's in Visa. I mean, that's a blue chip company. They get a fee on every credit card transaction. It's really, really not that hard. They are picking simple companies. The most interesting thing here that I want to talk about is how they make substantial gains from options trading. And this, again, I want to reiterate, is not buying short-dated options and speculating. The key thing they're doing, and this is a strategy that I use significantly and that a lot of people look down upon because it is so simple and because it's effective. The Pelosi's trading behavior indicates that they both, her and her husband, engage in a fair amount of cover calls. And what they do is they're selling these calls immediately after they purchase the stock. It kind of acts like a hedge, but it also brings in income. And this is the key strategy that my free ebook talks about and tells you how to execute it. It's not complicated, but it's about understanding the mindset of the trade. There are negatives and positives to every trade, but if you understand what your expectation is when setting up the trade, and you see what cover calls can do and the income that they can generate, it's truly remarkable. So please, like I mentioned in the beginning, download the ebook. It's free. It's going to give you a different perspective on how to trade blue chip stocks in the stock market. So a more risky strategy that they use is they purchase call options. But like I said, they're purchasing options that are further dated out. They're over a year out. And we'll go into specifically what these type of options are called in a little bit. But they're making tons and tons of money on these because they're almost acting as a stock surrogate. So these options kind of are like stock. They're cheaper to buy, but they move significant when the stock moves. So like a different way to get accelerated profits using leverage. So you can see how by using options, Pelosi would have had to pay around $4.8 million for the 2,000 shares compared to the 750,000 she paid through options. So she's getting the same exposure for less. And that's what the best part about options is. But again, these are not short-dated options. These are not YOLO options. These are long-dated, safe options. I know there are a lot of people out there that say that you can't beat the stock market. It is hard. But you can see that the Pelosi's actually have succeeded doing that. Some people will say that it's because they have insider information, but it really is a foundation that they're using simple strategies on stocks that have very good revenue, are very popular, are part of index funds, so there's demand to purchase stock, and they're really keeping it simple. And that's what I'm trying to let you guys know on this channel, is that it's really not about complicated day trades and stopping out and all this other stuff. It's about purchasing stocks that have great revenue, generating income off them, and just waiting. And if you want to try to use leverage, there's specific types of leverage to purchase. I'm going to go over that in the rest of this video. So what is theta? So with options, there are these things called Greeks, and they're different attributes of the option that impacts how the option is priced. And the most important thing to think about when purchasing options is theta, and it's also called time decay. So an option has a time to expiration. So the closer it gets to expiration, the less value it gets. So when purchasing an option, you want to make sure that there's as little theta as possible. And in order to do that, you need to buy options that have longer time to expiry. And these are the exact options that the Pelosi's are purchasing on blue chip stocks. Again, they're not purchasing GMC options or GME options or AMC options. They're purchasing these options with a lot of time on blue chip stocks. And I think there's something to that. So what are these options called? There's actually a specific term for them. Again, you do not see this on Twitter, on FinTwit, on Reddit. No one talks about this. They talk about weekly y'all options. But these options are what you need to use if you want to buy leverage. You don't always have to buy leverage. You can go with income strategies like the cover call, like the thing I talk about in my ebook. But if you want to try to take advantage of a move in a stock, you want to purchase a long-term equity anticipation security, or a LEAPS. So the thing about these is they have very long expiration dates. Theta is a very, very small percentage of the total option price. So it protects you if in case the stock doesn't go anywhere immediately after you purchase them. A lot of times you can wait 3 to 5 months for a stock to move and still gain profits. So this is really what you want to focus on when buying options. And just take the example out of Nancy Pelosi and her husband, who runs a big funds book, only purchase options with long time to expiry. So just to end this video, I'm going to just go into the Apple option chain and show you what these options look like. So here we can see Apple's trading at $161 right now. And we're going to go out to March 17th, 2023. So that's over a year and a half, or just about a year and a half from now. So there is a ton of time in this option. It's really good to see this in action. So you can see that the blue here means it's in the money option. If it's white, it's out of the money. So you can see that even if you got one that's slightly out of the money, it's going to cost you $2,000 per contract, which is a lot compared to, $100 for a short date option. But that short date option is battling time, and it could just lose its value because that time is eating away at it. These options, if the stock rises $4 or $5 within a month, you're going to make a profit. And you know that Apple over a year period is going to increase $10 most of the time. So these options are really good when you're trying to use leverage, and they're safe. And I thought it was amazing that I saw Nancy Pelosi and her husband buying these types of options when I was taught about these options from a mentor. So it's great that I'm seeing that confluence of things, and it really gives confidence to the fact that this is a very good strategy if you want to try to purchase options in the stock market. All right, so that's it for the video today. Again, leave comments below. Tell me what I'm missing about this. What's the downside to purchasing these? I think it's a great way to use leverage on stocks that consistently go up, that are blue chips. As always, like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Have a great day.